So as we're here getting started, our weather is our inspiration, all this beautiful rain we've been getting recently. And my thought has to do with sometimes when the weather's like this, it takes me outside of my normal speed and it gives me permission to just slow down a little bit. So there's been days where maybe during the summer heat, normally I don't go outside and sit on the patio, but with the temperature so good, we'll go outside, sit on the patio and just watch the clouds, watch the lightning, just feel the fresh air getting blown into our face. And it's been really, really amazing to just take those couple of minutes to slow down and feel present. So that's our simple intention today. Just slow down a little bit so that you can really tune into the body, really just kind of let this be a luxury. Let this be almost like a spa day for our body. Just this chance to stretch, to move, to go upside down, just listen to our system. So that's the idea that will lead us into our class. So with that to head us forward, let's begin to stretch our arms all the way to the back wall. Let's wiggle our shoulders to the left. Wiggle shoulders to the right. Go back and forth a few times. Pick a good pace for your body. Opening up nicely. So from here, let's return back to the center. Let's start to sit up just a little bit. It's enough that the fabric starts to fall past the armpits. And then the arms fall backwards. Just spread those. Want to go a little bit deeper in the back bend. Sit up enough that the fabric can slide just a little further and then experience it again. Choose how deep you'd like to go. Two more good relaxing breaths. And then start to lift the head up. We're stretching our right leg up to sky, grab onto it. The left foot for now can just be resting in the hammock, but you can set the foot free and dangle at the knee if you'd like to. As this right leg tries to get into a nice hamstring stretch, you're welcome to try to pull the knee closer and closer to the forehead. If the neck has any issues today, you can slip the head back in and just relax the head down for this moment. This nice hamstring stretch. From here, let's hook this right heel to the back left. That part that's kind of by where our shoulders are. Once the right heel is hooked to that left, start to slide the shin in. I've got two options for you today. Option one is just stay here, kind of like a pigeon pose. Option two, if you've got a lot of mobility in your hips, you tend to be a really open hip person. With your front leg dangling at the knee, you'll start to grab onto the back side of the fabric so that you can sit up with that ankle hook. You'll swivel the knee forward and then lean forward. So this is similar to Gomukhasana pose. You'll kind of free out the knee and so the knee is currently captured inside the fabric, and then just free it to the center right here. And it's just right forward. So free the other knee. Yeah. That's it. Yep. And then just lean forward. Got it. So if that hurts the knee at all, just return back to that pose again. So keep it at the ankle so that your knee can swivel forward. That's it. Yep. And your knee frees out of the fabric so it can point forward. Yep. Free it out and just drop it down. That's it. Beautiful. So that nice opening through the hip.
Looks so comfortable.
I like it. I have a really open hips though. So yeah, okay, good. We got at least a couple of like if you don't, just return back again and it's totally fine. No pressure.
I'd like to.
That's okay.
It happens.
Yep, it's true.
Yeah.
We'll just take a couple more breaths. This is that time just to kind of luxuriate, just enjoy whichever hip opener is working today. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe 3 more breaths right here. Your third breath finishes, we're going to return to that hamstring stretch. So start to lay back, make sure you have enough fabric to support your torso, at least a little bit. And then freeing out that right leg, it's back up to sky. Pull it back in, maybe forehead goes to knee, or maybe you can just relax the back, it's up to you. We'll take some scissor switches to switch sides. So engage the muscles of your left leg, let them float free of the fabric. And then with a nice exhale, your left leg lifts up and grab onto it, right leg lowers. Then exhale, switch again. A little aspect of strengthening here. And don't feel like you have to be in a rush. Let your muscles go a little bit slower, slowing down. We're not running a marathon today. We're just feeling sensation in our body. So in this case, the core. So the next time your left leg is up in the air, stay. Drop that right leg down, whether it's inside the fabric or not, you choose. We're taking the hamstring stretch first. So left leg is straight up to sky. Try to get either the forehead to the knee or get the head back inside for a moment so you can rest the head while the hamstring stretches. Okay, we're setting up for the hip opener. So easy pigeon is fine. Left ankle hooks to the back right. Slide the shin in. This is fine. You don't have to go any further. You have the option for that cow face pose. If you want to, you grab onto the fabric. As you start to sit up, that left knee frees its way of fabric, pivoting forward. And then you try to lean the shoulders forward. If you ever wanted to switch back to the other, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Just whatever is working for hips today. A few more breaths. Try to encourage your body to slow the breath down. Take 3 more cycles like that. go breathing at different paces. So only when you finish your third one, start to lay back again. Free off the leg. Another hamstring stretch to the same leg, the left up to the sky. Grab on, head can be up to the knee or resting back. That idea of just listening to your body. What does the neck need at this point? We'll take a few more scissor switches. So start to straighten out the left leg and float it above fabric. And then lifting it up, we switch. And leg switch. Exhale each time. And feel free to even slow it past what I'm doing. By the way, if you want to increase difficulty, don't use the hands. The hands come behind the head. Then it's just the strength of the legs slowly switching. Keep breathing though. Breath is one of those big factors that keeps us returning to the present moment over and over and over again. Let's take another 3 switches for each leg. We're all at different paces, so you'll count your own 3. Whenever you finish, both legs will come back inside the fabric. You're going to grab the back end so the torso can sit all the way up. And then slide the arms forward through the center to stretch toward the toes. So this is going to be a moment to let the neck rest. At the same time, we get a nice hamstring stretch. So as the weight of the head drops down, just let that neck relax into the stretch. And if you need just a hair more, take one of your hands to rest on the back of the head to help weigh the head down just a little bit more. Alternatively, you can also rock the head just a little bit left and a little bit right. If the hamstrings are ready to go just a hair deeper, if there's any bend to the knees, because the hips are the heavy point of the fabric right now, if there's bent knees and you want to go deeper, start to straighten the knees out just a little bit. The knees is totally fine though, if that's where the hips are at right now. Another huge relaxing breath. Let it go in and out. Good. So sitting back up, we're going to set ourselves up for vampire. So this fabric that's behind us, you need to take one good layer to completely cover shoulders. That's our safety aspect. We don't want a bunch of fabric bunched at the neck though. So as we start to lay back with our head past the fabric, begin to stuff your feet in, and then as you lift your hips up and extend the legs back out, just slide all that excess down. Good. Now, for this vampire that we're going to do, the first thing that we're going to start off with, we'll need to have the feet free of the fabric. So if they're inside right now, go ahead and kick them free. We're gripping up high left and right. Our feet come to press from the inside of the fabric, pressing out, and we're going to engage the core a couple of times. So the feet are in their normal position, and then pressing into the fabric, we slide the feet up and slide the hips back down. So take that at least 5 or 6 times. Just it's like a slow motion rolling to make the core have to have just a little bit of engagement. Perhaps with the next one, you're ready to stay in vampire. You're welcome to just enjoy the stacked spine. You're also welcome to play with balance. Perhaps the feet come free of the fabric, joining together. Balancing right there in the middle. Sometimes from there, I'll play very slowly with one leg balancing in front of me, one leg coming behind me. You have to let both legs kind of travel in such a speed that you keep balance the whole time. If you want to play with that a few times, it's like bicycles in the sky. So that's perfectly fine. If ever you just want to return to vampire, that's fine. And if at any point you're ready to just relax down back to Shavasana, that's also fine. One little shift. Okay. One shift. Right here. Yep, right here. Push that way. Yep. Okay. Yeah, see how that makes it. Oops. I just smaller back inside again. That's the fun part of aerial. Sometimes you get some flips. Like being on a playground. Sometimes it's nice to just gently shake the head left and right, just to remind that neck that this is an opportunity to loosen tension.
You just stop your rocking as well. I know it's hard to do.
Yeah. Beautiful. Looks like we have the majority of people out. So if you're still wanting to get side down, take your last couple of breaths here. Just enjoy maybe 3 or 4 more cycles. And this is starting our transition back to our head being upright. So if you want to lay for Shavasana for a little while, that's fine. If at any point you want to come to the floating child pose where we hook our elbows and lean the shoulders forward, that's also fine. This is another chance to start working into the neck. Just let that head roll left and right a few times. Starting to sit all the way up. Let's clasp our hands behind our backs. We're going to shift our hands to the right hip, and then our right ear drops to right shoulder. Just enjoy that neck stretch. If you're not getting quite the right muscles, either tilt your head slightly forward or rock it slightly backward of the shoulder. Just find that perfect spot. Okay, so the head starts to rise, switch the hands to left, and then left ear goes to left shoulder. Again, readjust until you find the perfect neck stretch. Just take this breath or two to slow down. Good, so when the head comes back up, let's take a twist. So let's bunch up fabric to front door. Then your shoulder that's closer to the back wall that's painted, start to spread that onto that wall, or circle the hand behind the head. grabbing the fabric behind you if you like how that feels for the chest of the bed. Lengthen the vertebrae a bit taller, and then see if the rotation wants to go just a little bit more back. And we'll start to release. Let's take second side. Bunching up fabric to back door. Again, it's that arm that's closer to the painted wall. That one opens or circles the front. I like to do that last little check. Try to straighten vertebrae up. And then rotate it around that tall pole of our spine. That. More beautiful inhale. Exhale. Release. As we're coming out of the fabric here, you've got two options. Option one, just normal, come out forward. Option two is a nice flip. So you'll bunch up the fabric really tight. I like to slide the hands down to about the shoulder height. And if you're doing this, you have to keep that grip really, really tight. But it's just a slow motion lifting of the legs up, eventually tilting backwards until our feet softly land on the ground. Yeah, come on. We're all little kids again. Yeah, beautiful. Okay. And we'll keep the fabric behind our back, over the shoulders, over kind of the front of it like a backpack. We're going to circle the hands around the head and around, oftentimes twice. That just feels really secure. So from here, we're going to either try to do little pull-ups. It could even just be little hops, trying to get a little bit of strength going on, or a full flexed arm hang. Try to just hold. Keep breathing the whole time. You need to take breaks, come down for a little bit, wiggle fingers out, then come back into it. Little hint, by the way, if this is really, really, really hard, free out your hands and come down lower with the grip so that you're closer to the flexed arm hang. Good. So just a little bit longer. Gotta go slow. Maybe one last attempt, whatever that looks like. Good work. Beautiful. Go ahead and free out the fabric in front. So nice soft grip so that the fingers can have some relaxation. We're gripping a little wider than shoulders. Let the hips go back, upper body forward. Just a simple wiggle of your tail. So the hips are wagging left and right. Good. Flatten back out straight. Take a cat, so we're rounding the vertebrae to the side. And flatten back out. And continue to drop the belly down as you gaze up. Good. Flattening back out. Beautiful. Shift the left foot underneath your body weight so that right leg can kick back. Balancing in a warrior three. And start to take that knee to the nose. Slowly extend it back straight to warrior. Twice more like that. Knee to nose. And back. To nose. And back. Good. Drop the foot to the floor. Right foot starts to work its way under your body weight. Left leg picks up. The moment to feel length. Sometimes that standing leg, I can even get into a little bit of a calf stretch just by tilting forward like this. So slowly take to nose and kick back to warrior. Twice more. To nose and back. Last one. Beautiful. Drop the foot down, bend the knees, roll the spine up. Slide the fabric all the way to the hips. Take any slack out of the fabric. So oftentimes I'll come forward and start to press my weight forward. And then starting to free up the thumbs, drop to the floor. 3 big steps back, usually take me right under front line. So feet stepping back also, yep. And then from this downward facing dog position, if you want to stay here, that can give you an opportunity to lessen the intensity on the hips by lifting hips kind of up and almost away from the fabric. If your hips are doing okay today, maybe you lift the toes up, either wagging your tail out or grabbing around shins. Bring an option for a shoulder opener, clasp behind back to just let the arms fall back. Well, this is hip hang time. Just play with it as long as it still feels good. Don't force anything. When your head wants to be back up, you'll slowly roll your way back up. So no rush, so take your time. So try to keep the knees below the level of the hips. Yeah. Whenever you're up, you'll just lay back. And wrong with gives our head a little bit of a break. No rush though. I'm not rushing anybody who wants to just enjoy this. Those that are up, if you want to take a little side lean, walk your feet just a little bit further forward, the feet about as wide as that. Take the hands behind the head. Then you're bending the right knee, you get to lean all the way over to the right. And straightening right leg, switch it out, and to the left. Next time you're forward, equally back. Take a couple of shoulder stretches. Looks like most of us are out. So clasp hands behind back. And then imagine you've got a grandfather clock. So you're slowly taking left and right with those fists. So you can lean a little bit if you need to, but pull just a little bit to the left, pull just a little bit to the right. Just helping that deltoid stretch a little bit. Beautiful. And releasing the clasp of the hands, take a little bit of a back bend. Head gets to roll backwards, arch. If you want to have the hands return to the fabric for a little bit of support, that's fine. Standing back bend. Good. Rolling back up. Walk the feet backwards to be practically standing on your own. Right arm crosses to the left. Left arm crosses to the right. And standing up, bend at the waist. Leaning forward, not to let the fabric slip across the shoulder blades, but just enough to let the arms spread to the opposite direction. So right hand is going to left hand is going to right. Good. Leaning back, circle the arms up, all the way down. And inhale, rise. Now it's left that crosses first, and then right. Bending back up, bend forward. I like to just rest my chin in a way that I can still easily breathe. Beautiful. Leaning back, circle the arms up. Good. Just shrug the shoulders a couple of times. Roll them up, back, and down. Good. Let's free ourselves of fabric, walking it out in front of us. Walking right up practically to the plumb line. Take your right ankle inside. Nice long leg. You can have your choice of stretches here. Maybe you're sliding the hands down to bring the torso closer to the side. Maybe you're sliding the hands up to do more of a split. Your preference. Always know if your angle is weird in your splits, just adjust where your foot is on the ground. Shifting left or right will help you to have that position where you go more where you intend. Good. Let's take our weight back over standing leg. We're going to bring both hands to left side. Turn your standing toes to the left, so to back door. And then we're keeping our hands on this left side, but the left hand is going to go upward. The right hand is going to go downward. Good. From there, you can either just take this easy side leg. Sometimes the ribs just need a little bit of attention. You also want to take a little bit more of a split action to mirror that side, some weight forward. Beautiful. Return your weight up. Grip one hand on each side, toes bump back forward. We're twisting, so left hand grabs on the right side, right hand twists back behind. You return forward, slip the fabric down to the knee. Hands can slide high. Sink your weight forward. I love this one for the psoas stretch on that left front of hip. Salud. Good. If the fingers are not curled around tightly, which is proper, don't normally do that, but at this point, go ahead and curl them around. We're softly lifting up the back knee and lowering that left knee to the floor. Good. So camel pose, or half camel, I guess. You can keep the toes behind you tucked or untucked. It's up to you. The first direction, right hand grabs on left strand, and then left hand starts to go to that back heel. A little bit of a back bend. You would try to push forward. So the heart space, try to rise up to step. And that high grip helps us return back up. Left hand now grabs to right side. Right hand to heel. Nice twisted variation. Okay. So as we bring one hand back up to each side, you've got two choices. The option one is going to be pretty hard. It's a deep hamstring stretch, trying to slip the fabric down to this ankle and then leaning forward. For a lot of people, this is not quite accessible. So if that's you, you'll just drop your hands to the left and turn to the left. So this is eventually where all of us will end up. It just depends on if you're able to stop here first. Good. Try to take some of the bend out of the knee, lean forward. Awesome work, guys. So you're welcome to take 2 or 3 more breaths if you just got here. If you're ready to start dropping hands to the left, go right ahead. You want to make sure the leg is kind of going towards the mirror. So that means you might have to hop your knee backwards just a little bit. And then I like to drop down the elbows just to sink down. Now walking your elbows to the back of the mat, you're turning away from the mirror. From there, on our elbows, we're gonna try a variation of an elbow plank where we try to just float this left knee right above the ground. And I'd stay a couple of breaths. You can always pop it back down if you need a break. Keep going. If you're still feeling the ability to, whenever you're ready to rest, take it to the toes so the toes swivel in, and then we just rock more weight back. Good. For another 2 slow breaths here, slowing our body back down if it felt like it picked up a little bit. Whenever your second breath finishes, we can gently drop the knee to the ground. You can take whatever recovery pose feels good. So sometimes child pose feels amazing. Sometimes I like to go up to down dog for a moment, just letting the hips wiggle out. Whatever feels really good for recovery after that deep pigeon pose, take it. So eventually we're going to work our way back up to standing for the second side. So if you want to do some bonus pull-ups, you can grab onto the fabric, nice and high grip each side, get the feet underneath you. Take some nice little pull-ups to build a little bit of arm strength before we move on. You choose how many reps feels good for your body today. There's a little trick if you ever are at that point where you need to make it harder, you can hold yourself in a pike while you do that too. So you always got options if you want to. But let's just take this left ankle side. Good. So this one's the choice. You can maybe lean forward, or second option would be slide hands up to take more of the splits. With slowing down, we can really pay attention to how left and right sides feel different or similar today. Because there's a lot more things going on one half. Good. Let's lift our torso up. We're getting both hands to the right side, turning the standing toes to the right. And then with this grip on the right side, right hand goes up, left hand goes down. Either just relax, open with the side ribs, or let some weight sink forward, your preference. More breaths, deep and full into belly. Weight comes over the center, grip one hand on each side, toes point forward. We're twisting. So left hand or right hand grips to left, and left arm opens up. So this should be twisting to back door side. Beautiful. Okay, returning forward, slip the fabric to the knee. The hands can slide up. They don't have to be super tight right now. We're relaxing our weight forward. A couple of points that you can play with are sometimes people's ankles don't like to be kind of pushed forward this much. So if ever you need more muscle action to kind of keep the ankle safe, just lift it up. But dropping the heel down does get you into calf. So if you're not hurting any joints, any bones, and it feels good, feel free to relax the heel back down. Beautiful. We'll tighten the grip that's up high. Softly lift up the knees, let me lower right knee to floor. And then left hand goes to right strand, right hand to back heel. You need to tuck the toes for a couple more inches, that's fine. Kind of let the heart space arch more, so heart gets pulled forward and up. Beautiful. Rising up, the right hand drops to left strand, left hand drops. Okay. So rising back up, that challenge would be trying to slip the fabric down to this ankle and just kind of lean into it. If that's ever too much, drop the hands all the way over to the right this time. The knees significantly bent, that's okay as long as you feel stretch. If you really don't feel anything, that's the invitation to try to lengthen it. One more deep inhale. Exhale. Drop hands to the right. The knee may need to bump back. It's just a hair, so the leg is kind of still pointing to the earth. And then I like to drop them out. You're welcome to allow as much weight as feels appropriate to sink to mirror side. Start to inch our elbows to the back of the mat. We're there, we're ready for that elbow plank variation. Trying to get the right knee to float for as long as feels good, or kind of like when we did the pull-ups earlier, or the flex arm hang, you can pulse even, just little pulse up and set it down. Up and down. Keep the knee with more of a gentle quality rather than slamming it down. Keep breathing no matter what you're doing. You're amazing. Keep going. If there's more strength left, at any point you can take it to the place. Swiveling the toes in. Okay, starting to drop the knee to floor. Let the knees go extra wide. Sliding the hands forward. We're going to take just a gentle shoulder stretch here. So right hand crosses under and through the left armpit fold. Huge breath in and out. Release this right arm, switch it out. Left and now crosses under and through. uncross. If your hips need a little bit of motion, you can wag them out, take the down dog. Eventually we're working our way up to stand. So if you wanted a couple more reps of pull-ups or anything like that, take them. Beautiful. So we'll wrap up with a nice straddle back inversion. So standing in front of it, we've got the backpack over our shoulders. The thumbs slide in to grab. That grip helps us to keep the fabric right across that sacrum area. So from here, keeping pressure so it doesn't slide up. We're stepping one foot back, bending both knees. We start to lean back, core is really engaged. Tiptoe forward, just 3 small steps so you're back under the line. And then at the same time, hands go up, knees start to go wide. Wrap the ankles. As soon as you're wrapped, you're welcome to release the hands down. The inversion. And if you're skipping the inversion, sometimes at this point in class, you're like not ready. So you can always just take other stretches that feel good. Yeah, let me come over here. I would switch my grip so that the thumbs instead of fingers. Sometimes the fingers get stuck. Yep. Just go wide. So instead of inside, that's it. Just so you know where we're heading, this is our last inversion of the day. So some of us will want to hang quite a bit longer. Some of us are definitely inversion addicts in here, and I love that. At any point, no pressure. When you feel ready to come out, you're welcome to head to your Shavasana pose, whatever that is today. Maybe you're laying on the ground at this point in class. Maybe you want to take that floating Shavasana like you started class. It's up to you when you're ready to be there. No rush. would do a shot. Start from the very beginning. Get out. Your thumbs take about half here. I'll make sure you don't have too much. Still no rush if you're not quite in Shavasana yet. This is the point to really start slowing down, whether you're still hanging or you're relaxing. Try to encourage the breath to go extra slow. Literally just enjoy every breath we have, every chance we have to be present, relaxing, to be right here, right now. Here we'll slowly start to bring ourselves up and out. Perhaps just start off with a couple of good deep breaths. You start to stretch out fingers, wiggle toes. It might feel nice to allow the arms to stretch to the back wall, wiggling shoulders left and right. Sometimes it's fun to do the fetal position. So in the hammock, what that looks like is rolling onto one hip. Keep the body long, but one hip is stacked on top of the other hip. Then from there, you can curl in like a tight little ball and then arch the spine all the way back. I'll sometimes do that 2 or 3 times to one side, and then I'll switch 2 or 3 times to the other side, balancing the spine out. Some point sooner or later, we'll eventually work our way up to a comfortable seated place, but no rush. Whenever you're up, let's take our hands together in front of heart, just connecting back to our intention. That beautiful idea that it's okay to give ourselves permission to slow down a little bit, to pause, just watch the beautiful clouds, feel fresh air rising, coming, rushing into your face. It's absolutely fine just to take a moment to pause. Even if you're at a computer working hard, just close your eyes for a moment to just take 3 good breaths. So with this idea of slowing down to complete us this marvelous week, let's wrap up the time we shared together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. Be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.